Okay, what's up you guys? It is evening time here because I was so busy today, so I'm just now getting to recording this for you. This flow we did on Monday. As always, the class was an hour long, and as always, this is going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. If you haven't been here before, my name is Sarah. This is Yoga for Snowboarders, also known as Snoga, and this page is Mobility Duo, where me and my husband do everything for snowboarders specifically. My husband Mark is a doctor of physical therapy, and then I am a personal trainer, a licensed massage therapist, and a certified yoga instructor. And for those of you who don't know, a licensed high school teacher. But this flow is going to be a lot of moves that become very repetitive, and we close our eyes a couple of times to get very moody. But the whole point of that is to really feel what's going on in the body. So, as always, I don't know, that was it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start standing in the back of the mat, and I know you probably can't see me up there, but that's totally fine. So standing in the back of the mat, we're going to start with a small bend in the knees, and then we're just going to hinge at the hips, folding down as far as we can, bending your knees as much as you need to get your hands to the floor, and just allow your head to fall. And just breathe here for a second. Good. Beautiful. From here, we're going to take an inhale as we bring our hands to our shins and create our spine nice and flat, or make our spine nice and flat. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, fold. Good. Back up, inhale, flat spine. Exhale, fold. And now just take a moment to yourself, close your eyes, and just go back and forth between those two. Allowing your breath to really dictate how fast or how slow you do this movement. Inhale every time you come up, exhale every time you go down. A couple more. Good. And last time you exhale and fold, just go ahead and stay there. From here, we're going to walk our hands all the way out in front of us into a downward dog. So separate your feet a little bit so they're hip width apart. Your shoulders should be, your hands should be shoulder width apart. Your fingers are nice and wide. You're just pressing one heel down to the ground and the other, just breathing. Good. And from here, we're going to shift forward into a high plank position, core nice and tight, and then press back into our downward dog. So again, we're going to do that a couple times. So inhale, reach forward or come forward. Exhale, press back, downward dog. On your own time with your breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Keep going. Close your eyes. And just feeling, kind of just noticing what the body is telling you. Beautiful. Let's do one more. And then exhale, downward dog. Good. From here, we're going to take the right foot up to the ceiling just a little bit. Tippy toes that left foot. Core tight. Shift your weight forward. Knee to nose. Knee to nose. Knee to nose. Place that foot between your hands. Remember, that one takes practice. And it's our first time opening up our hips, so just rocking back and forth a little bit here. Breathing. Beautiful. From here, we're going to drop our back knee to the ground, and then we're going to walk our hands back, straightening out that front leg as much as we can. Maybe it's still a little bent, totally okay. Just doing what you can do. And then inhaling, coming back forward into that lunge. You're more than welcome to put your hands on your knees if you want a little extra. And then exhale, press back, straighten. And again, you can close your eyes, just going back and forth between those two. Noticing how your hamstrings feel, your hips feel. And remembering never to push yourself into a position that your body's not ready for. So we don't want to be flexible today. We want to do a little bit each and every day. Don't ever overdo it. Beautiful. And let's go ahead. Next time you come into that lunge, bringing up that back knee. And then weight in your heel. Toes come up. We're going to pivot on that heel into a side lunge, Skandasana. Sitting nice and deep on the right side here. And then pressing up and over into the left side. Good. And let's just go back and forth between those two again. And you can always close your eyes here, but maybe you'll get off balance a little bit. Do whatever works for you, just making sure you breathe at the same time. Good, couple more. Beautiful, one more on either side, ending on the left side. So left leg Skandasana, side lunge. We're going to pivot into a normal lunge facing the back of the mat now. I want to make sure you can see me. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. So just for a second, wiggling back and forth. Allowing this hip to open up in this direction now. Good. Beautiful. And from here, just like we did before, drop that back knee, walk your hands back, straightening out that front leg as much as you can. Good, and then coming forward into that lunge position. Again, you are welcome to put your hands up on your knee if you'd like. Not required though. And just closing your eyes and going back and forth between the lunge and the fold. Inhaling with the lunge, exhaling when you press back. Good. Let's do one more of each. Beautiful. And go ahead, coming back into that lunge position, bringing up that back leg. And then from here, we're just going to plant the right hand down to the ground. Take your left hand up to the ceiling, going into a little twist. Yes, beautiful. Breathe. Good. Go ahead, bringing that left hand back down. And again, weight in your heels, toes come up as we pivot into our Skandasana, side lunge. And again, going back and forth between both sides, right and left. You can have hands on the ground, hands on your knees, hands out in front of you if you want to challenge, whatever works. Just make sure to keep breathing. Good. Next time you get to your right side, go ahead and pause, pivot on that front foot, and going back into the lunge on the right side. Now from here, we're going to place the left hand down to the ground like we did over there, and we're going to take that right hand up to the ceiling. Breathe. Beautiful. Good. And go ahead, slowly bring that right hand back down to the ground. Drop that back knee down to the ground. And then bring your hands up to your front knee. So we're kind of in a 90-degree lunge. From here, there's two options. So you can either stay here, tuck your butt under, and then take the opposite hand as the knee up overhead, and that's really going to get that hip flexor there. or stay there if you like, or we're gonna go down into that lunge, bring up the back leg, and then bring that right arm up and back to grab that back foot, going into a little twist. And breathe. Good. This move has a twist in it, has hip flexors, has quads, a little bit of everything. Breathe, no matter where you are. Beautiful. Go ahead, release that foot back down to the ground. Release your eyes back forward to the mat, hands on the ground, tuck that back toe under, coming back into that lunge. So now we're going to go to do the same thing on the other side. So weight in your heel, pivot into our Skandasana, and then going over to the other side, and we're just going to do that once. And then we're going to pivot with that left foot into that lunge. And I'm just going to move back so you can see all of me. So we're in our lunge with our left leg now. We're going to do the same thing. So drop that back knee. And again, choices. So you can either tuck your butt under, take that opposite hand as that leg up overhead, really getting that hip flexor. Or we can come into that lunge here, bring up that back leg, and then left hand comes up towards the ceiling and then towards the back to grab that foot. Good. And breathe. Beautiful. Keep breathing. Good. And slowly release that foot back down. Release your eyes back in front of you. Hands to the mat. Tuck the back toes under, coming back into that normal lunge. And then again, weight in your heels. Toes come up, going into that pivot, Skandasana, side lunge. And then going over to the other side, just once. And then pivot on that right heel, facing the front of the mat in a lunge. Beautiful. From here, hands to the ground, press the ground away, taking that right foot back into a downward dog position. And breathe, pressing one heel down to the ground and the other. Beautiful. Couple of vinyasa flows. So we're going to shift our weight forward, core nice and tight, hug your elbows into your sides, either lower here or drop to your knees and slowly lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Pinch your shoulder blades together, looking forward. And then exhale, pressing up, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And let's go ahead, drop our knees down to the ground, close to each other. Untuck your toes, so you're going to be tops of the feet on the floor, and then we're just going to come seated onto our heels. And then for a lot of you who've been with me before, you know that this is my favorite position. If you are uncomfortable sitting on your ankles or on your heels, then you might need to practice it a lot more because this allows for so much. It like unlocks a world of ankle mobility, which is so important for snowboarding. So if this is uncomfortable for you, for right now, just grab a sweatshirt or a towel or a blanket and just put it underneath your ankle joint, and that will relieve a little bit of the pain. It'll give you a little bit more room. But eventually you want to be able to just sit on your ankles or sit on your heels. From here, we're going to sit on our heels as practice. So go ahead, bring your hands together and your elbows together. And then we're going to open up our elbows like a cactus, chest reaching forward, looking up. And then exhale, wrap your arms around you like you're giving yourself a giant hug. Maybe trying to overlap your elbows a little bit, holding on to your shoulder blades in the back. Maybe we'll get there one day. And then from here, we're just going to slowly rotate from one side to the other, back and forth. And I don't want you to huck it, just small movements. Close your eyes, just going from one side to the other, seeing what your spine lets you do. Good. Beautiful. And let's go ahead, find neutral again. And then release your hands, opening back up into that big cactus with a big inhale. And then exhale, wrap yourself in a hug again with the opposite arm on top. So you might notice it may be a little different. And then again, you can close your eyes and slowly rotate from one side to the other. Beautiful. And go ahead and find neutral. Last time, release your hands going into that big cactus. And then exhale, hands out in front of you, tabletop position, bringing your ankles off the ground. And then maybe going into some ankle rolls, one direction and the other, bringing some blood flow back into those ankles. Beautiful. And let's go ahead, tuck our toes under, including that pinky toe. So make sure you move it if it doesn't automatically go. And we're going to stretch out the bottom of the foot, which is really important for all those who have foot pain while they're snowboarding. And if you don't feel anything from just sitting on your heels, then you can allow your knees to slide forward a little bit, and that will stretch out the bottom of the foot even more. So from here, we're going to interlace our fingers, press our palms away from us, round the spine, tuck your chin, and exhale. And then inhale, take your palms up to the ceiling. Try to get your arms on either side of your ears, and then exhale, round. Good. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, round. Couple more. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, round. And last one. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, round. Beautiful. Releasing your hands all the way down. Bringing your hands out in front of you, coming back into that tabletop position, undoing your toes. And then maybe grabbing, pretending like you're grabbing something with your toes to bring some life back into them. Woo, maybe some more ankle rolls. Beautiful. And let's go ahead, making your knees nice and wide, tucking or untucking your toes, so tops of the feet on the floor, bringing your hips all the way down to your heels, walking your hands all the way out, forehead to the floor, child's pose. And just breathe here in and out through the nose for a moment. Beautiful. Let's go ahead, slowly walking your hands all the way up until you come seated on your heels. And that's it for today. Okay, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what your favorite part was and what your least favorite part was, and maybe if you need to work on something, let me know that too. If you ever want into these hour-long classes where we go through a whole lot more and we do a Shavasana at the end and it's really fun with a bunch of people, then let me know. It's on Zoom every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but I'm thinking about opening up another time soon. So if you want into them, just message me. And that's it. We will see you guys Sunday for another live with Mark and I. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.